You are chasing a ghost. You are running toward a horizon that retreats every time you get close, sweating through a shirt you bought to impress a woman who hasn't even looked at your shoes yet. You've been told that if you are kind, you will be rewarded. You've been told that if you are stable, you will be loved. You've been told that if you listen to her problems, she will see your soul. Lies. All lies. The man who believes the words coming out of a woman's mouth more than the energy radiating from her body is a man destined for a quiet, lonely room. You're operating on a map drawn by people who want you to be a good consumer, not a powerful man. You're looking for logic in a storm. You're looking for a contract in a dance. You're looking for a reason when the only thing that matters is the feeling. She does not want your flowers. She does not want your resume. She does not want your predictable, polite, safe apologies. She wants to feel the weight of your presence before you even speak. She wants to see a man who is so grounded in his own reality that her chaos cannot even move the dust on his boots. Most men are mirrors. They reflect her mood, her anger, her boredom. If she is cold, they freeze. If she is distant, they panic. If she is bored, they dance like clowns. Stop dancing. The moment you understand that her attraction is not a choice she makes with her brain, but a reaction she has to your strength, the game ends. The mirage evaporates. You stop asking for directions from a person who's just as lost in the emotion as you are. You look at the truth, cold, raw, final. The dating market isn't broken. Your understanding of the human animal is. You've been treating her like a peer in a business meeting when she is looking for a king in a wasteland. She is waiting for you to stop being a nice guy and start being a man who understands the silent tectonic plates of female psychology. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. And once you know the truth, you can never go back to being the man who begs for a crumb of attention. You become the source, the center, the prize. She is a creature of survival. Deep beneath the makeup, the high heels, and the curated social media profile, there is a biological processor that has been humming for 1,000,000 years. It does not care about your feelings. It does not care about fairness. It only cares about the strength of the tribe and the security of the bloodline. You see a date. She sees a test. You think you are having a conversation about your favorite movies, but she is measuring the frequency of your voice. She is watching how you handle the waiter. She is calculating the gap between who you say you are and how you actually move through space. This is the biological imperative. This is the ancient software that demands she finds the highest valued man she can possibly attract and retain. Hypergamy is not a dirty word. It is a law of nature. It is the silent engine that drives her to look up, always up. She needs to know that if the walls cave in, you are the one who holds up the ceiling. If you become soft, she becomes hard. If you become predictable, she becomes bored. If you become weak, she becomes gone. Most men fail because they think they can negotiate desire. They think they can earn attraction through merit points. You think that because you paid for dinner, or because you called when you said you would, or because you've been loyal for 5 years, she owes you a certain level of passion. Desire does not negotiate. You cannot argue a woman into wanting you. You cannot guilt a woman into feeling a spark. You cannot use logic to fix a biological no. When she says, "I'm just not feeling it," she isn't lying. She is reporting a fact from her nervous system. Her biology has scanned you and found a lack of tension, no friction, no fear, no threat. She needs to feel that you are a man other women want. She needs to feel that you have options even if you choose only her. She needs to feel that your world is bigger than her. The moment you make her the center of your universe, you become a satellite, and no woman wants to be the sun for a man who has no gravity of his own. She wants to be pulled into your orbit. She wants to be a passenger on your ship, not the captain of your soul. When you lose your edge, she loses her respect. When she loses her respect, she loses her attraction. It is a domino effect that has crushed the spirits of millions of good men who did everything they were supposed to do. They provided, they protected, they stayed, and yet they watched the fire in her eyes turn to ice. They didn't realize that the nice man is often a mask for the weak man, and biology has a visceral, violent reaction to weakness. It seeks to prune it. It seeks to move past it. She will test you. She will poke at your boundaries. She will throw emotional grenades into your quiet afternoon just to see if you blow up. She isn't doing it to be mean. She is doing it to see if you are still the rock. She is checking the structural integrity of the man she has chosen. If you crack, she loses safety. If you yell, she loses respect. If you apologize for things you didn't do, she loses interest. She is looking for the man who can stand in the middle of her storm and not even blink. She's looking for the man who doesn't need her validation to know he is powerful. She's looking for the high-value ghost that she can't quite catch but desperately wants to keep. The reality is brutal because it demands constant growth. You cannot rest on your laurels, or you cannot finish being a man she desires. You are either ascending or you are decaying. There is no middle ground. There is no happily ever after, where you get to stop being the man who won her in the first place. You are the gatekeeper of your own value. If you don't guard it, she will find someone who does. She is a mirror. You are the light. If the light is flickering, the reflection is distorted. If the light is gone, the mirror is just a cold piece of glass sitting in the dark. Most men do not understand that a woman's emotional state is often a direct response to the atmosphere a man creates. They look at her moodiness, her petulance, or her sudden spikes of anger, and they try to solve them like a math problem. They use logic to explain why she shouldn't feel the way she feels. Logic is useless. Here, to a woman, feelings are facts. If she feels that you are losing your grip on your life, then in her reality you have lost it. It doesn't matter if your bank account is full, it doesn't matter if you have a title. If your energy is vibrating with anxiety, she will feel that vibration in her teeth. She lives in the now. Men live in the if-then. We think, if I work hard for 10 years, then we will be happy. She thinks, I don't feel led by you right now. She has a psychological need for emotional turbulence, but only if it is grounded by your stability. Think of a kite. The kite wants to fly, to dip, to dive, to be carried by the wind. But the kite can only enjoy the wind if there is a string held by a hand that does not move. You are the hand. You are the anchor. You are the gravity. If you let go of the string because you want to be nice and let her fly wherever she wants, she doesn't feel free. She feels terrified. She spirals. She crashes. This is the void that most men create. They become so accommodating, so agreeable, and so passive that they leave a vacuum where leadership should be. And nature abhors a vacuum. If you do not fill that space with your direction, your purpose, and your masculine frame, she will be forced to fill it herself. And she will hate you for it. She does not want to be the one who decides where you go, what you eat, or how the relationship should progress. When you ask her, what do you want to do? You think you are being polite. She hears that you are abdication your throne. She hears that you have no vision. She wants to be a part of a vision that is already moving. Women are psychologically wired to seek out the pre-selected man. This is why a man with a wedding ring gets more attention than a single man. This is why a man surrounded by women is suddenly more attractive. It is social proof. It is a psychological shortcut that tells her other women have vetted this man. He is safe, he is valuable, he is the prize. If you are a void, a man with no hobbies, no friends, no mission, and no thick the women interested in him, she has to do all the psychological heavy lifting herself. She has to wonder if she made a mistake. She has to look for reasons to stay. A high-value woman wants to be your best option, not your only option. When you have nothing else in your life, you become clinging. You become needy. Needing a woman is the fastest way to lose her. Use not well. You must understand the push-pull of the feminine psyche. If you are always pushing, always calling, always texting, always seeking her attention, she will naturally pull away. There is no room for her to miss you. There is no room for her to wonder about you. There is no mystery left in the box. You have become a solved puzzle. And nobody wants to play with a puzzle once the pieces are all in place. The why behind her behavior is often a search for a boundary. She will push against you just to see where you end, and she begins. If she pushes and you move, she knows she can dominate you. If she can dominate you, she cannot respect you. If she cannot respect you, she cannot love you. It is a brutal hierarchy. You must be the man who has a mental point of origin. This means your happiness, your self-worth, and your sense of reality come from inside you, not from her reaction to you. Most men have their point of origin inside the woman. If she smiles, they have a good day. If she frowns, their world ends. This makes you a puppet, and a woman can never truly desire a puppet. She wants the puppeteer. She wants the man who can look into the void of her emotions and not be swallowed by it. She wants to know that even if she walked away tomorrow, your world would keep spinning. Not because you don't care, but because you are the center of your own universe. That is the psychological shift that changes everything. Everything you have learned up to this point is useless if you do not have the courage to apply the pivot. You must move from the man who seeks to the man who is sought. You must move from the seeker of approval to the sovereign of his own soul. This is the mind before skin transition. Most men are obsessed with the skin, the physical act, the outward beauty, the validation of having a woman on their arm. They will trade their dignity for a smile. They will trade their mission for a night of comfort. They will trade their respect for a peace that isn't even real. The high-value man prioritizes the mind. He understands that his greatest asset is his attention. In the modern world, every app, every company, and every woman is competing for your focus. Your attention is your currency. If you give it away for free, it becomes worthless. If you spend it on a woman who has not earned it, you are telling her that your time has no value. Stop being so available. A man who is always a text message away is a man who has nothing better to do. A man who drops his gym session because she wants to hang out is a man who values her whims more than his own growth. This is not about playing games. This is about having a life that is actually worth living. You must build a life so dense, so heavy, and so filled with purpose that her presence is simply the ornament on the structure you have already built. Think about a mountain. The mountain does not beg the clouds to stay. It does not chase the rain. It stands. It is ancient. It is unmoving. The clouds come and go. The sun shines. The snow falls. The mountain remains. You must be the mountain. The high-value pivot requires you to embrace the power of the withdrawal. If she disrespects a boundary, you don't argue. You don't yell. You don't send a 3-paragraph text explaining why your feelings are hurt. You simply withdraw your attention. You become cold, silent, heavy. You show her through your actions that your presence is a privilege that can be revoked at any moment. Men are terrified of this because they are terrified of being alone. They fear the silence. They fear the empty bed. But a man who's afraid of being alone is a man who can be easily manipulated. He is a man who will accept crumbs because he is starving for validation. Feed yourself. Work on your body until it is a weapon. Work on your mind until it is a fortress. Work on your bank account until it is a tool of freedom. When you do this, your vibe changes. You stop projecting the energy of a supplicant, someone who is asking for something, and you start projecting the energy of a selector. You begin to ask, is she high value enough to be in my life? Does she bring peace or does she bring chaos? Does she support your mission or is she a distraction? Does she respect your time or does she treat it like a toy? Once you understand female psychology, you realize that she wants you to judge her. She wants to be held to a high standard. She wants to feel that she has to qualify to be near you. If you accept her regardless of how she treats you, you're telling her that you have no standards. And a man with no standards is a man with no value. This pivot is not about being alpha or being a jerk. It is about being sovereign. It is the quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth and does not need a woman to confirm it. It is the strength to say no to a beautiful woman when she is crossing a line. It is the ability to walk away from a toxic situation without looking back. Most men are looking for a woman to complete them. The high-value man is already whole. He is the sun radiating heat and light. If a planet wants to orbit him, it is welcome. But if that planet drifts away, the sun does not go out. It continues to burn. Build your fire. The moment you stop caring about her approval is the moment she becomes fascinated by you. Paradoxically, by being willing to lose her, you become the only man she never wants to leave. You've escaped the trap of the nice guy and entered the realm of the integrated man. You see the game, you understand the players, and most importantly, you have mastered yourself. When you have sovereignty, you no longer feel the rot in your chest when she doesn't text back. You don't feel the panic of losing her interest. You're too busy building your empire. You're too busy becoming the best version of yourself. The dating market changes forever when you realize that you are the prize. Not because of arrogance, but because of the sheer amount of work you have put into your own mind and skin. You have become the rare commodity. You have become the man that women talk about when they talk about the one who got away. Only this time you aren't going anywhere, because you are exactly where you are supposed to be, at the center of your own world. The veil has been lifted. You can no longer pretend that the world is a fairy tale, or that romance is a democratic negotiation between equals. It is an arena. It is a dance of shadows. It is a constant calibration between your strength and her instinct. Most men will watch this, nod their heads, and then go right back to their old patterns. They will go back to apologizing for things they didn't do. They will go back to scrolling through her photos looking for a sign that they are still safe. They will go back to being the mirror reflecting her chaos instead of the mountain grounding her soul. Don't be most men. The truth is heavy. It is uncomfortable. It requires you to look in the mirror and admit that the reason you've been failing isn't because women are crazy or because the dating market is ruined. You've been failing because you've been playing a game without reading the rules. You've been trying to win a war using the enemy's map. Mind before skin. This is the philosophy of the man who has reclaimed his power. You must master the internal architecture of your own mind before you can ever hope to lead another person. If your internal world is a mess of insecurity and neediness, no amount of game or status will save you. She will smell the weakness on you like smoke on a jacket. You must become the man who is comfortable in the silence. The man who doesn't need the constant ping of a notification to feel alive. The man who has built a life so compelling that a woman's presence is simply the yes to a question he was already answering for himself. Dating changes forever the moment you stop looking for a soulmate and start looking for a student of your reality. It changes when you realize that her beauty is common, but your discipline is rare. It changes when you stop asking for permission to be powerful. You are the architect. You are the leader. You are the prize. Never forget that a woman's greatest desire is to find a man who doesn't need her. She wants to be the one who earns a place in your story, not the one who has to write it for you. She is waiting for you to step into the role nature designed for you. Go build something. Go sweat. Go lead. Go become the man that your younger self would have looked up to and your future self will be proud of. The world does not need more nice guys. The world needs more men who are dangerously competent and fundamentally grounded. The mirage is gone. The truth is all that remains. Now I want you to sit with this. I want you to look at your current situation, the woman you are chasing, the relationship that feels like it's slipping through your fingers, or the loneliness you're trying to numb. Ask yourself this one question. If I were truly the most valuable man I know, would I be doing what I'm doing right now? If the answer is no, you know exactly what needs to die so that the man you are meant to be can finally live. Step into the light. The mountain is waiting.